Hey, it's Marzi. I'm gonna ask you right now, can you please stick with me? Because this is literally the 7th time I've attempted to make this more concise and I don't know how this is gonna go. So, can you just try, please? It's been a while. So, we had bushfires here. Which was a new experience to me. I've driven through a bushfire before, which was really scary. But this was a bushfire that was in the bush, literally 6 meters behind Mum and I's new rental. New to us, not new. And thankfully my brother had just cleared all the kind of long grass 2 days, I think, before the fire started. So it was really scary. I had really bad asthma and sinus, throat, chest, all that stuff. So I was on a nebulizer and oxygen machine pretty well constantly for the first 4 or 5 days, and we had to block up everything. And just stay kind of closeted inside the house, because it was so bad that the street out the front, you couldn't even see the house across the road. Like, that's how thick the smoke was, and they were burning off out the back to make sure it didn't get to our house. So the bushfire started, and then to prevent it getting to us, they did a controlled burn off, but it sort of got out of control because of the heat and the wind. So we had council guys and the fireys driving up and back, trying to keep an eye on it constantly. But we had embers raining all over the house, and yeah, it was scary. It was intense. And from that, I've got this weird thing that happens. So I guess because I'm allergic to chemicals and smoke, I've had this, like, a cyst develop inside my nasal passage, and so it's in, like, on the opposite side here, so it's nearly blocking my whole nasal passage, which is not good because I don't get any oxygen uptake up this side, and my oxygen levels in my brain is really bad, so I don't get good blood flow to my brain, and my oxygen flow is also bad because of the blood flow. So my brain matter has aged 10 to 15 years past my biological age, because so it's shrunk because of the lack of oxygen I get to my brain. So any more blockages. So you know how I've got that cyst here that sits behind my eyes? That seemed insane, but it is literally, like, my neurologist at the time, when she found it, was like, what is this? So it's huge. It's been really painful. I don't really understand the science behind that sort of stuff, because I'm getting pressure on my brain, but your brain doesn't feel anything. So I don't know where the pain comes from, but it was like all the back of my skull was really hurting. Oh, and I concussed myself because I had asthma, and I tend to just kind of get on with it even when I've got really acute asthma. I'm a shocker, honestly. I just don't, I'm not very good at being aware of what's going on. So I have really bad asthma, and I've been on nebulizer and stuff, and I probably needed to go on it again, but I wanted to go to the bathroom first. And I went to bend down, and there's a towel rack now in front of where my toilet is in the ensuite, and I smacked my head, and then I threw up straight away. I got a concussion. So yeah, that wasn't good. And then I got another cyst, which, ladies with Lyme disease, I think you may guess where and what I'm talking about. There's a special name for it, but I can't remember what it is. I had it once before and it ended up in a hospital, and they had to drain it and give me IV antibiotics. Thankfully I didn't need an operation, but they do, you know, that does happen, and then you have to go back and back and back. So that's happened, and I think it's called a Bartholomew cyst. So it's on my labia majora, and it's really painful. So I don't know if it's a Bartholomew cyst yet. I'm kind of trying to wait it out and hoping that it's not, but it's very sore, which is not a good sign. Other than that, I don't know if it's obvious, but I've lost a lot of weight. Not that I weighed myself, so I'm just going by clothes size and the way I looked in the photo I took before I started this program. So Mum and I went from eating really healthily to just like not really eating, and a strained in with not eating, you put weight on. It's weird. Well, at least for me anyway. It's not that way for everybody. So I just thought, well, stuff this. If I'm not gonna eat, if I'm not eating well, or I'm not gonna eat, I may as well use this program, and then have some sort of structure that's easy to do. So I've been doing it. I haven't even done the full program yet, and I've just lost so much weight. So I'm so impressed with it. And it's all natural and non-toxic, and they don't test on animals. So it's something I'm actually really excited about, to like trying other products and stuff. They have collagen, which I want for Mum and I, because it really helps with joint pain. And yeah, it's nice to feel like I'm fitting into clothes that I haven't fit into since I put on all that fluid retention. When I went to sleep one night and woke up the next day 20 kilos heavier. It's insane. I still can't believe it happened. Awful. It was as bad as the time I suddenly realised after about 4 to 6 weeks that I don't even know if it was that long. I think it was like less than that. It was like under a month. My boobs have gone up 7 cup sizes. And it's just like, I know people sometimes like big boobs, but oh god, it's excruciating and bad for the back. So I'm hoping they'll go down as well, because it's not nice. It's really uncomfortable. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm asleep, like I'm falling asleep all the time. I'm really, really tired all the time. I think my adrenals have just crashed since Dad passed. It's probably when Dad went into hospital. I am in fight or flight mode constantly anyway. It's something that's been scientifically proven for people with myalgic encephalomyelitis by Sydney University. They basically showed in a study that our body behaves like someone with PTSD. Our immune system stays on and active and in hyper alert mode, and so you never really sleep properly, and if you're not sleeping properly, you're not healing. And so that's kind of been my life for a long time. And then with Dad being the way he was, I was always hyper aware as well, listening out for dangerous noises that warned me of trouble. And so when I went into hospital, Mum and I just started falling asleep all the time. And then of course, we thought it was going to get better, and we were going to get to look after him and help him get stronger. But that just wasn't the case. So, still adjusting, I'm finding myself so contradictory. I'm really, really, really lonely, and I feel incredibly alone. But then, people reach out to me and I don't have words. I don't know what to say. It's like I've forgotten how to make sense, or how to, like, what's the way to communicate. I don't know. I'm very much to the point and just, you know, minimal. I don't know. Imagine like a bloke would be. I don't know. So it's hard. I had some friends trying really hard to reach out to me, and I can't seem to bring myself to talk, and yet I need to. It's so contradictory. And then I've had other people just kind of disappear on me, you know, and sometimes just they don't know what to say, and that's okay, but it's just hard. Like I said, I wouldn't know what to say anyway, but it still feels really shitty. Okay, I'm trying to be fast, but I can't. This is the second one that's like 11 minutes. Otherwise, I wanted to let you know that my friends are setting up a charity for Mum and I to help us, because basically once we pay the rent, we can barely afford to eat, and let alone, you know, the dogs and all, and the cat and whatever, so, and the bird. So, yeah, and then my sister's going to the designer markets in March, so if you have anything you want to donate that is a label, they could use that. If you have anything you want to donate for a garage sale, I'm going to have a garage sale and cull about 80% of what I own, because I haven't even unpacked, and I figure this is the best time. I'm going to be very aware of what I don't miss or I haven't even thought about, and so I'm, you know, just going to cull brutal and sell as much as I can. So if you've got stuff you don't need or want anymore that you could give us to sell, then that would be fantastic. And you know, anything from jewelry to clothing to homewares to, I don't know, I can't even think straight, but you get my drift. Anything, electronics, vintage, whatever you've got, we can make use of in some way, shape or form, and then if we don't sell it, we'll donate it to a good cause, so it'll go to someone deserving. I haven't really been looking after myself in terms of treatment properly. I can just barely function. It's still like sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat. That's it. I don't really do much, and I'm not even eating that much, so I've probably lost you all, bored you to tears. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this quickly. My brain function is just not good. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I've got to get back onto my naturopath. She's really lovely, so she can help me with some adrenal support or something. And yeah, back onto trying some treatments. And yeah, I think that's about it. I really should go. I'm just babbling. I'm starting to get really smashed. So, one last thing. If you have Netflix, can you please look up the documentary Unrest? It is a documentary about myalgic encephalomyelitis, which I have, as well as having tick and vector-borne diseases and chemical allergies and all that. And this documentary has my friend Anna in it, and I supported it through Kickstarter so that I can memorialise Theda, my friend who died. And it's crazy because that in memoriam list at the end of the film, there's like 4 people that I know. It's not even that long a list. So, Jen Breyer, who the film is basically mostly about her and her husband Omar, she very thoughtfully explains that many of us don't have access to treatment, and we don't have the funds to access treatment, and we don't all have the support like she has, from whether financial stability to a loving partner to doctors and stuff. So it's a film that was shortlisted for the Oscars. This is no kind of lightweight film. That said, it's not so intense you can't cope. So please watch it. It's Unrest. It's a documentary. It's on Netflix Australia, and it's worth watching. And if you don't have Netflix, you can get it on iTunes, I believe, and I don't know where else, but I'm sure if you looked up Unrest online, you'll be able to find out. You can buy a copy of the DVD too and organise screenings and all that. So anyway, I better go. I'm sorry I've kept you so long. I really hope you stuck with me, because I miss you all so much, and I feel kind of forgotten, and I know I'm not, and I know that it's just that I'm not seeing or touching anyone, or I'm not communicating. It's just such a lonely, contrary, hard time in my life. And I want you to know I love you so much. To anyone that's donated in the period in which I've been quiet, please know how much it's helped, and that any money that you donated to Mum and I has gone to Mum and I. And if you donated to me, it's gone to me. Okay. Love, light, blessings and gratitude.